Welcome to Scaling with Disha, the show that helps online entrepreneurs to scale their business to six figures and beyond without the hustle or the overheads. I'm your host, Disha Waddup, and I'll be here each week to remind you that you can do anything you set your mind to. Hello and welcome to episode 3. Today we'll be talking all about wanting to give up. I know this is huge for all entrepreneurs, and we all have that moment where we want to pack it all in and get a job, and maybe the entrepreneurial life isn't for us. Maybe we should not do this. Maybe it's too hard. Maybe I'm not built for this. All of these doubts start coming up, and how do we deal with them? So I want to dive straight into telling you a few stories about moments where I have thought, maybe this isn't for me, and maybe I should go back to a job and check out and just get a normal 9-to-5 that would pay me money and life would be easy again. So back in 2016, if you listened to episode 1 where I talked all about quitting your job, you will know that I quit my job and left and went to Asia, and then gave it all up to come back to England and get a job again. And that was because I didn't know that I could do this. I was stuck. I didn't understand what was next. I wanted to give up. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. All of these limiting beliefs kept coming up for me, and I had no way of handling them or dealing with them or knowing what to do next. And this is something that everybody deals with, and it's a big growth area for so many entrepreneurs, is understanding those doubts, being able to move past those limiting beliefs and really push the envelope to actually hit those goals that you really, really want. I had another wobble when I changed from being a social media manager into coaching in 2019 to 2020. I knew that I wanted to transition to coaching, and that was mainly because I had been asked by my clients if I would coach them, and I found that I absolutely loved it. Some of my clients had said, "Will you coach me on this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure. If you want to pay me to help you and coach you, absolutely more than happy to do that." So I loved it so much because I realized I'm a people person, and being a social media manager was fantastic, and it was a great learning curve, and I learned so much, but a lot of it was behind the scenes. A lot of it was not connecting with people, not sharing my outgoing self, and really hiding behind a screen and just getting that work done, which was great. But it wasn't me. It wasn't lighting me up every day. I wasn't excited about it. I was just creating and creating and creating. So I knew that I had to transition to something where I was with people, that I could either talk to them physically or talk to them through a Zoom call and really connect with people on a deeper level. That was going to be what was going to light me up and allow me to build a more profitable and successful business by living in that light. So I had a wobble though, right? Because I was winding down some of those social media clients and ramping up the coaching, but I had no idea what I was going to do, who I was going to coach, and what that was going to look like. And I was grasping at straws. I also decided to do it in the middle of pandemic. So going into 2020, when I was like, yeah, this is going to be it. I'm going to transition to coaching. And then the global pandemic hit. I had a death in my family, and everything sort of came down around me. And I was like, should I be doing this? Is this a disaster? Do I need to do this right now? Should I go back to social media management? Should I get a job? Should I just pack it all in? And there were all of these limiting beliefs coming up for me, and I just didn't know what to do. I hadn't got a clear plan. I had no strategy. So the first thing that I did was get a coach. I knew that if I had a coach that was going to push me and had done that before, had transitioned from social media management to coaching, then it was going to really position me in a way that I could follow their footsteps. And I did exactly that. I found a coach that I wanted to work with that had gone from being a social media manager to transition into a coach, and followed her step-by-step footsteps. I followed that strategy and transitioned seamlessly into coaching. But I had all of those limiting beliefs coming up and all of that stuff coming up that meant I had to really, really dig deep and get clear on what it was that I wanted and what that was going to look like for me. So one of the things that really, really helps me when I have one of these wobbles, when I'm not really sure if this is the right thing for me, is looking at my vision board. I am a huge fan of vision boards and I absolutely love them. And just getting clear on what it is that you want in your life, being able to assign an image to that, or even just writing it down and saying, this is what I'm striving for, allows you to really look at that and say, okay, this is why I am doing this. I have got some big kick-ass goals, and this is why I am doing all of these things so that I can move myself closer to these goals. And vision boards are totally movable. You should be doing new vision boards frequently. I do them at least every year because I want to really get specific on what it is that I want and move the needle towards those things. And each year it changes, right? Sometimes I want something and the next year that I've either achieved it or I just don't want it anymore. And that is okay as well. We can change our goals. But having a physical view where you can see them, that is really going to help you really push all aspects of your life towards those things that you want. So knowing what it is that you want and having that vision to do it is going to be a massive, massive goal, a difference for you. I am going to go into mindset in episode 10 around how to really build a mindset practice that works for you. And I'm going to share some of the things that haven't worked for me. So make sure that you have hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to get access to that episode when it drops in June. And make sure you stay tuned for that episode. So back to giving up and what that feels like and what that looks like. There are going to be days where you're going to get up and you don't feel inspired. There are going to be days where you get up and you think, today is not the day I'm going to be productive. Today is not the day that stuff on that to-do list is going to get done to the best of my ability. You could push through and you could stare at a blank screen and you could say, I'm going to try and get this done. But that is our corporate mentality. That is the 9-to-5 mentality. That's the job mentality, saying you have to sit at this desk and pretend like you are doing work, even though you know it's not getting done and you're procrastinating, staring at the screen, scrolling through Facebook aimlessly. You know, the things that you do when you are not getting the work done. So I know that at these points and whether that's in the middle of the day or at the start of the morning, I'm going to have to take myself out of it. I'm going to have to do something that is exciting for me. So I will say, okay, today's not a day I'm going to get anything done. I'm going to take myself out for lunch and have a glass of wine. Maybe I'll take my laptop, maybe I'll write a blog or do some light work when I'm out, or I'll just embrace it and say, do you know what? Today is a day I'm not going to get anything done. I'm going to take myself out for a pedicure, have some lunch, or take the dog for a walk and just step away. I don't have to be at the desk from 9 to 5. I am not in a job. I get to choose how I spend my day, and I choose to do something that lights me up right now. Whatever that is, whether that's the gym, a run, walk with dog, if you have kids, playing with the kids, going out for lunch. My favorite thing is taking myself on a lunch date. I absolutely love it. I'm going to take myself on a lunch date. We're going to have a glass of wine and it's going to be epic. I'm going to read a book or write a blog or do some thought processes and map out the next course that I'm going to launch. Whatever that looks like for you and what you want to do it. Don't take your phone, just sit and enjoy the moment and people watch. It is such a fantastic thing to do to disconnect from your to-do list. and making sure you are lighting yourself up again. Again, I've struggled with this myself over the last year as we've gone in and out of lockdown, but I know what I can do to step away and really connect with myself again, knowing that I can come back the next day, the afternoon, and get things done that are on my to-do list. So knowing when to take a break. That means hard breaks as well. So for example, I will go on a weekend and say, that's it. I'm not touching my laptop for this entire weekend. I don't care what comes up. I am not touching the laptop. I don't need to do it for personal or professional reasons. There is nothing that's going to happen this weekend that I am going to pick up my laptop for. Absolutely not. And having those hard set rules means that you then have to think creatively. So for example, for me, I don't have the kids as a distraction. I don't have other things in the world that are a distraction. So I have to purposefully find the time to be creative. So whether that's starting a new hobby and getting creative that way and enjoying things that are outside of my work, because again, as entrepreneurs, I know there'll be some of you saying, I love my work and I love my work too. It makes me happy. It's my light up place, but I need to have something else. So whether that's craft, whether create macrame projects or candles or paint the garden fences, whatever it is that you do to step away from work and really enjoy your time. And make sure that you are making time for those things. That is going to stop you from giving up. But don't stop. There is a difference between taking a break and stopping. And I want you to take a break, take a step back, and get started again. Know that that list is still going to be there tomorrow, and you can get started and get cracking on that list. There are a few things that I do to pump myself up. So one of the things is I have a playlist that's called the Make Me Smile playlist, and I absolutely love it. It's all of my happy songs. Now, it probably isn't your happy songs. I have a very strange and very weird taste in music, but I love it. They make me happy. And I tell you to create your own Spotify playlist. Create your own playlist with all the songs that light you up and make you happy. I play it in the mornings when I'm getting ready, making my coffee, and I know that that is going to put me in a good mood. The same as running or exercise for me is a massive part of shifting that energy and getting me ready for the day. And I absolutely love exercising. I'm getting the blood pumping each morning before I start work, regardless of what the rest of the day looks like. That is a really, really important point for me as well. You will feel like giving up, and it doesn't matter where you are in your business or where you are in your life. There is going to be some point in your life where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get a job, do something that's easier, quit, be a housewife, do whatever it is that you think is going to be the thing that changes your world. And I want you to stay strong in your why. And that is why your vision board comes in so useful. Because I know that if I gave it all up, if I got a job, there are so many things that are on my vision board that I want for my future that I just wouldn't be able to do. For time restrictions, money restrictions, and all of the other things that happen when you get a job, I know that there are so many things that I wouldn't be able to do if I was to give this up and go back into a job. And that is what gets me up in the morning, looking at the vision board, knowing what I'm achieving, knowing what's being ticked off and what I'm working towards, and thinking, yes, this is going to be epic. I'm so excited. That is going to be the thing that keeps you going. So my top tips for giving up, know that it's going to happen. Know that you're going to want to throw in the towel, and have coping mechanisms to keep you going throughout that journey. Whether that is a vision board, whether that's a pump me up playlist, an exercise routine. If you like the meditation and things like that, then do that. Whatever it is, do that to get you excited again. A lunch date with yourself, whatever it is that gets you excited, do it and come back to your to-do list later on in the afternoon or the next day. I hope that this has given you some sort of strength, knowing that if you are feeling like you want to give up right now, then I want you to create the playlist. take yourself on a lunch date and enjoy the moment of being with yourself. We're back next week talking all about managing your time as you grow and scale a business, whether you're working full-time currently or whether you have quit and now working full-time in your business. We're going to be talking about ways that you can manage your time effectively. Stay tuned, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I really hope that you genuinely learned something from today's episode. If you found this episode useful, then please hit the subscribe button and leave us a review. I personally read each and every one. Until next time, bye.